Hello and good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Good evening, good night. I love you. Just want to say I'm here with you today and introduce myself a little bit. I want to say, first of all, thank you all for being here with me today. And I appreciate you and your presence and your energy and your light that you bring. And I hope that you can appreciate all the same things from me. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to share my story, to connect, to relate, to teach and to learn, to open up, to share. Yeah. So I hope that you're all doing well. I know that we are all in a very different place in each one of our own lives, but within ourselves, I feel like we can all find ourselves in very similar places. As far as our emotional states go, our spiritual states go, and even our physical states. We're all human beings walking this earth alive right now. And so we're all going through the same type of experience and process as far as the way our bodies are reacting to our environments and our circumstances. So we can all relate on those levels. So what I like to do with my day is to start my day with my thanks and say what I'm grateful for and bring all of that to the forefront of my awareness. And so it helps set the intention for the day and the moment that I'm in. And so before we move any further, let's do that. Let's say thank you for our lives today. Thank you for our breath today. Thank you for our time together. Thank you for our homes. Thank you for our food and our water. Thank you for our shelter. Thank you for our friends and our family. Thank you for the warm weather. Thank you for our medicines. Thank you for our healing. Thank you for continuing to never give up on us. Thank you for leading us in the right direction. Thank you for setting the example. Thanks for giving us chance after chance after chance and opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to continue learning, growing, and doing the right things. So we could go on and on and on with our thanks, and I could, and I love doing that, but that was good. So let's say thank you for all of those things. Let's have a beautiful rest of our day today. Let's everyone stay safe, protected. Let's everyone remain loved, cared about, thought of. And let everyone continue to be helpful, to be kind, to be caring, and to be grateful and appreciative and humble. And I think if we all can all do those things, we'll all be leading ourselves in the right direction and finding ourselves in a beautiful place. So, now that we've said our thanks, I just want to introduce myself. So my name is Brian Burgess Jr. I'm 35 years old. I live in the United States, in the state of Wisconsin. I have 3 children and a beautiful partner. And we're doing the best that we can. We're rocking and rolling. We're learning and we're growing every day. And what I like to do in my free time, because right now we still live in this world where we have to pay bills and pay for services. And in order to pay for services, you have to have money. In order to have money, you have to work for it. And so that is still the system that we live in. And if I don't, if I'm not able to feed my children and I'm not able to put a roof over their head, so to speak, then I'm failing as a parent. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to succeed as a parent. So what I do is I do what I gotta do, but then I'm also actively working to make a change, right? And I'm actively working towards helping other people also see the bigger picture. There's a interesting concept or idea that there has to be some massive change within the world in order for things to change, so to speak. Like something physical has to happen. And maybe that's not necessarily the case. Maybe the only physical thing that needs to happen is a perspective change, a consciousness change, right? A conscious change. And what that does is it has physical implications. And so what I do is, the idea that I have is, I see this bigger picture. I have this very clear vision of how things work, and I have an understanding of those things and where we're moving as a people. But that's great. That's great. It's a vision and it's an idea of what's to come, but it does me no good if we can't materialize that dream, right? And that vision. So how do we materialize that dream and that vision? Well, back in the old days, or at least for myself, it was this very exhausting, tiresome process of feeling like I have to literally physically go out, shake everybody awake and say, hey, you need to do something, make a change. And it still is kind of like that, but it's not so much of this having to go out and physically shake everyone and do this, have this exhausting process to exhaust myself. That doesn't help myself either. But what I found is that by continuing to permeate my dream and intentionalize my dream and put it out there, it allows other people to come across it and see it. And when they see it, they hit on the things I'm saying. And we make connections. We build on connections here. And we start connecting the dots and the puzzle pieces and putting these things together. And things start making, we get confirmations, as I like to say, when life, it confirms back to us that, yep, this is what I was looking for. This is the path I was wanting to head down, or this is the next checkpoint, so to speak. It lets me know I'm moving and continuing to move in the right direction. And so the idea is this. It doesn't take a Superman to go around and rescue everybody, okay? This is what it takes for the change to happen, and this is what I'm realizing. And this is how beautiful it is. All it takes is a perspective and a conscious change. Conscious change. So we live in a system where things are paid with money, and we've got to go to work, and we got to put on our suits, and we watch our TV and our news and all these things. Like, this is the system, right? And if we have this dream, though, of a world where it's free, where there's not a system that we have to oblige by and work for, but yet we are living in an open source of humanity and togetherness and freedom, and there is no money involved or systems involved or judges and juries and all these things that keep us separated and segregated and in classes, right? It's not about that. So what it is we get a perspective change to say we can see a bigger picture. Once we see a glimpse of a bigger picture, it's our jobs individually to take that into our hearts and really start to self-educate, understand what that means on our own levels. For some people, it's very easy to understand mathematics. For some people, it's like you're speaking a different language, right? But it doesn't mean that both people can't learn that subject. It just means that their ability to learn it might be a little bit different, or the challenges that come along with that might be different. But it's upon the person themselves to say, hey, if this is challenging for me, I need to figure out a different way to understand it, or whatever I'm doing to teach myself, or someone's telling me isn't quite clicking. I need to find a different avenue, because I don't want to give up on this idea if I want to learn this. That doesn't help. It just means that I need to figure out a different way to learn it, and we got to keep working at that. And so what happens is we get this perspective change. We get this idea change of, okay, I know I'm living in this world right now, but what I would love to see, and what I feel in my soul and in my heart, the world that we should be living in as a people, is this, right? That's the idea. Now, the beautiful thing about people and human beings and nature itself is we love to sleep. And a very magical thing happens when we sleep, is we essentially enter a dream world, a dream state, okay? Are we physically going somewhere? In our dream, it feels like it does, doesn't it? But we realize really that we're not actually going somewhere. We are still laying in our bed. Our conscience is what goes somewhere. All of a sudden we are flooded with an experience that feels just as real as when I'm speaking to you right now awake. And there's times even when you're awake, depending on your state of consciousness, that feels like you're dreaming, and vice versa. So it's very easy to get mixed up in the two worlds, and for one to feel like it's real and one to feel like it's not, or one to feel like it's a dream but it's really real. How many times have you been in a dream and you go into another dream in your dream? You dream that you're dreaming into another dream, right? So it's like we're aware that we're dreaming, right? And we can talk about lucid dreaming and these things, right? So it's a really, really magical thing that happens. Well, hello to you too. But just like, so to speak, if you were, you've seen these movies, right? You've seen a million of these movies where someone gets knocked unconscious, or or they are in a coma, or whatever it is, they go to sleep, yeah, or they bump into somebody else and they bump heads, right? All it takes is your mind to switch and you're living in a different world. It's literally as simple as that, and it will not be fake. It will be real. So it's not that a Superman has to go around and save each person. It's that each person has to save themselves. Once we really take in this vision of this dream of what the true reality of humanity is and should be and was before it got off track here, we can all go to sleep one night and wake up and we'll be in a different world. Literally, you'll go to sleep. And the thing is, nobody can avoid sleep. You can avoid it for so long, but then you can't avoid it any longer, and you have to sleep. And so it's a fail-safe process. Everyone will go through this process. You will go to sleep, and essentially it'll, just like you have the experience now, you will find yourself in a dream that appears real because you don't know you're dreaming. And maybe what's going to happen is you never wake up, because it's like you literally went to the dream. Like you perceived the dream, and then just like in a movie, it's like you find out it wasn't a dream. It's all of a sudden you're pinching yourself and you're realizing, oh my God, this isn't a dream. Like, but you're looking around you and it's a whole new world because you just found yourself there. How did that even happen? Because you went to sleep and the brain worked its magic. And all of a sudden now we find ourselves in the quote unquote future, or another dimension, or reality, or the new world. How did that happen? Yeah, because we all made the choice. We all made the choice to see the truth and to let go of the lies. That's how it happened. So that's the process. I just broke it down for you. When that's going to happen, I can't give you an exact date. Every single day that I wake up, I wish it was today. You know, I wish it was right now. I wish this video could be seen by every single person, and we could all just put down our briefcases and take off our ties, wipe off our makeup, and just say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready because I'm done with the act. I'm done with this nonsense. And I think what's going to happen, if we just want to keep being honest about these things, and that's what this is all about. I'm here to share information in my understanding. So how do we all get on a page? Something big has to happen. Something big has to happen. Really positive big things can happen, but also really negative big things can happen. And without getting into events, in modern times, we can look back to an event like September 11th, 2001, when a single event happened in the morning of a Monday morning, and all of a sudden the entire world was focused and aware and talking about the same thing at the same time. Okay? So it can happen, and it does happen a lot. But usually it's in negative ways. It's because it's the negative things. That's what, that's what gets us talking. That's what gets people talking. That's why people want to watch the news. What's all in the news? It's not positive things. It's negative things, because that's what draws the conversation. That's what draws the eyes and the attention, is the negativity, and the pain, because that's what we're all feeling, and we all want to, hear about somebody else's pain for a moment, right? So usually it's a negative thing. My job is to not dictate what it's going to be, but it's to see what it is and share that information. So if I was the one writing the story, and we are, but right now we're still living, we're not fully in control at this point, clearly, because we're not making the decision to let go of the BS yet. But once we are, we will be the kind of the writers of our story, and that's the idea of what we all want. We all want to be able to be the ones holding the pen of our own destiny in life and write that. Right now, we're at the mercy of the pain and the suffering. So, we need to focus on doing the right things, staying on track, sorry, I got off track, but I remember what I was saying now. So, I'm not here to dictate when it's going to be or what it's going to be. If I was to say it the way I would say it, it would be a very positive experience, because I feel like we've suffered enough as a people. I'm at about my end of, the pain and the suffering and the exhaustion and the tiredness and those things. But like I said before, we are stubborn people. We don't care if somebody tells us the fire is hot. Don't touch it. We want to touch it anyways, because we just want to prove to them that they're right, don't we? So it usually takes some type of calamity, or very intense climactic type events, for us to really stop what we're doing and focus. So what we have in the background of our world, like, we go about our business, we're doing our jobs, raising our families and things, but behind the scenes there's an entire system that's operating all of this. You could call it the governments, which I guess that's like, that's the puppet show that goes on to keep everyone distracted from what's really going on behind the scenes. There's a select group of people that are really dictating and controlling the theme and the direction of our reality and our society. And if you think they aren't making plans at all times, just like little old Brian is trying to do things to help people, these guys are actively, literally always scheming and trying to plan the next way to deceive us and manipulate us and take our lives from us. They also have an understanding of the truth, right? That's why they operate in the way that they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't have no reason to. They understand the truth, and they want to eliminate that. They want there to be no truth, so that they can continue to live in their little bubble of lies and deception. And so they try to do everything they can to keep you distracted and to make you believe the story that you're living in is the truth, when in fact it's the biggest lie ever told. So what I believe is more likely to happen is that these schemers, just like they scheme all these horrible atrocities that happen across the world, and these wars and these terrorist attacks and these bombings and things. This is all these guys' plans and their schemes. They know coming up next Tuesday there's going to be a bombing at this place and it's going to be on the news, and they'll blame some black guy because that's what they do, right? Or some terrorist Arab guy, right? And they'll make a thing, and then that guy won't even have a say, and then they'll go and put him in prison, and like, it's a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of nonsense. Okay? So, all I can do is speak from my experience. And in my lifetime, I watched them scheme a plan to literally fly planes into buildings that were full of people. So, if they were willing to do that 20 years ago, what are they willing to do today? You know, I'm not trying to think about that. That's what these guys do. They're trying to top themselves. They say, we did 9/11. How can we top that? What can we do to make it even more horrendous? And so they're planning that actively. Okay, so you have to expect this. They know that this whole thing with these aliens, it's not aliens. This is our family. This is our ancestors. This is a rescue mission. Okay? They know that we're living in a destructive world, and we have been for a long time. They do their best to keep us safe, but really, what can they do? So, what's going to happen is, as we, the people, put the puzzle pieces together, these concepts of ancestors and star people that are coming and going and watching us and helping us and have been teaching us and been with us, it won't be so mythical anymore, and it's going to become real. And as it becomes real, like I said, you'll be going to sleep, waking up, and it'll become real, more real. Every day it becomes more real, more real, more real. It's going to be more magical and more magical. You're going to see, and what they're doing is, again, they're trying to promote the story of these people coming are invaders. Why they've been trying to have your kids play video games like Halo and these things where it's always about shooting the aliens, always about it's a negative thing, and kill the aliens, they're here to hurt us. It is not the case. They're not aliens, they're not here to hurt us. If it was the case, these extremely intelligent beings would have enslaved us a long time ago. Okay. We're being enslaved by our own governments. These other people are waiting for us to snap the fuck out of it and make the decision and choice that we're done with it, call on them for their help, and they're going to come. And what's going to happen, though, when they come, because the government's putting on this narrative of we're under attack by the aliens, as soon as they come, guess what happens? World War Infinity fucking happens, because this is what they've been waiting for. And guess what? All the children, all the suckers, all the people that are in the military, all will say, here it is, just like in the video games. And we'll have this full-fledged fucking attack on these people coming, who really it won't matter because they're not going to be hurt. They're beyond our mediocre weaponry. Okay, so when you can freeze time and manipulate consciences, what is your gun going to do to me? Nothing. So we're not going to play this game. Okay, this is not going to happen. There will be a freezing of time. This is not going to happen in one day. This is a long process, these things I'm talking about. It's like over multiple days, months, weeks, possibly, I hope not years, but these events will keep happening. There will be blackouts. There will be no electricity, right? And this is going to happen. There will be martial law. There will be military everywhere. They'll be making rules and laws and stipulations and can't do this and restrictions, and it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos. This is why I've been speaking for the past 3 years. I've been working for the past 3 years on these things, understanding them, but I've been speaking on them, I guess, publicly on this forum for the past year, is to help people understand, because once these chaotic tragedies and events start to happen, it's going to be very easy for people to pick sides, and they're going to feel like I have to choose something. I have to choose what's right and what's wrong, what to do. And you're not going to know what to do. You've been living in a world that's told you, do what your government says. And so it's going to be hard for you to accept that what they're telling you is not the truth. But at the same time, you're going to be having this feeling of something isn't right here. And so you're going to be going against yourself. So I don't want you to be in that position. I don't want you to have to question what is right and what is wrong. I'm here to tell you what is right. When the time comes for you to be saved, do not run. Do not fight. Do not hate. Do not mistreat. Do not judge. You need to humble yourself and say, thank you. Thank you very much. The idea is to do that now. The idea is to do that now. So, what I think, to sum it all up, we're going to keep, our consciences as people are going to keep opening up. And as we do, we're going to stop settling for the way that we're being treated. As that continues to happen, our reality keeps changing. It keeps evolving because we keep going to sleep and then we keep waking up with that new mindsets. And because of that, it's all based on our mindset, our reality, right? So it keeps evolving towards that. Okay? As that begins to happen, the people, like I said, behind the scenes that know what's going on, they're waiting for these things. These are all checkpoints. So they're going to say, all right, the people are here. They're finally there. It's time to step it up. It's time to put in our plan into action now, right? Because they can't allow us to just continue to gain power, right? They don't want that. So they're waiting for they're paying attention to the conversation that we're having. Once our conversation gets to a certain dialogue, they'll pick up on that and they'll say, all right, it's time to enact plan, go fuck yourself. And they'll start their shit, and they'll start this and that, and maybe they'll put in the next pandemic, or they'll do this, or whatever. They'll do their next thing, right? And it'll be the next thing that'll continue to cause us pain, suffering, and separation, and it's all this bullshit. So they're gonna play that side, and as we continue to break down because of it, but at the same time, because we're evolving and putting the puzzle pieces together, it's like they're trying to break us at the same time that we are breaking free from them. And so it's this really hard process to go through. You're going to continue to see news and footage and talk of astrological and astronomical things happening that are unnatural, unexplainable, unidentifiable. This is also going to be the dialogue that's going to happen. As that dialogue keeps happening and as that keeps getting spread around, and again, this idea of UFOs and aliens and things stops becoming so fantastical, but everyone's talking about it, which it's already beginning to happen. I said this a couple years ago that this would happen, and it's come to light now, and it's happening now. It becomes the reality, and as it becomes the reality, again, more and more of it begins to permeate, and our reality changes. Now we're waking up, and we're not talking about our basketball team and our budget for our job and the inventory. No, we're talking about what the fuck just happened in the sky last night that the whole world witnessed, right? That's the dialogue. Things begin to become real and change, okay? Again, as that's happening, what's the government putting out there on the news? Oh my God, we're under attack. You guys better bunker down and get ready and be prepared. And they're going to be calling on the young kids to join the military, and we need everyone's help, and everyone come on. And so here you've got, and then you've got, I'm not going to get into it, but you got the religious people. It's a whole nother millions and millions of people on a whole nother page will be either talking about the end of the world, the apocalypse, or the second coming, or whatever, the 15th fucking coming of Christ, however many times he's come now, I don't know. Jesus likes to come a lot, I guess. Or not come at all, I don't know. Is he a comer? Is he a goer? Is he a fucking stayer? Is he a fucking He ain't real, okay, guys? This is the real deal. This guy right here speaking to you is the real fucking deal, okay? You'll figure it out. It's all good. It's part of that process, part of those puzzle pieces. As they keep putting together, you realize who this brother is. He's a brother from that mother. That's your mother. And there is no other. All right? Love you. So they'll continue this talk about that, you know, the end of the world and the attack of the aliens and all this. So you've got the whole world picking sides, choosing, going this way, going that way. Some are going crazy. Some are probably killing themselves, running into the streets, going crazy, jumping off cliffs, jumping off. These people, we do wacky ass shit when the shit hits the fan. Okay, we lose it. We don't know what to do. It's like it takes a very understood heart, mind, soul, and person to operate under those types of conditions in a clear and aware and focused type of way. I will be one of those people. I will be one of those people in those moments who will be cool, calm, and collected because I understand why it's happening and what is happening. And that it's part of a process. Okay? So we're going to be in this war, so to speak. During this war process, what do you think is going to continue to keep happening to us as a people? We're going to keep realizing the truth. As these tragedies, as these manipulations and deceptions and restrictions and this pain that is being caused by our system continues to hurt us during this process, it'll be the thing that pushes us past it to say we've had enough, no more. And again, we have to sleep, even though there's chaos going and bombs and jets flying overhead and who knows what, fires raging. Eventually we all have to sleep. And as we keep sleeping and keep waking up, reality keeps changing. It'll get to a point where it can't go any further. And something will have to happen. And I'm telling you right now, we will not be defeated. They will continue to lose strength and lose strength and lose strength as the process goes on. And we as a people are going to continue to gain strength, gain strength, gain strength. So that when it comes to quote unquote that final round or that final moment, there will be a clear and distinct side that is in control and one that is not any longer. And the tables will have been turned, the tide will have shifted, and we will find ourselves the ones in control. The things that we're all about to experience as people are things that I don't believe have ever been experienced by humanity before. They're things that I don't even think I've ever seen like in a movie as concepts. Best way I can describe it is there will be a moment where it's all I can say is it's happening, and we will all it'll be literally the only words that'll be coming out of your mouth. It's happening. Why would you say that? Because it must mean that you knew something was going to happen. It's happening. It's happening. Because you, in your soul, in literally the depths of your DNA, has been waiting for something to happen. And it's going to happen. And you're going to be looking up at the sky in a state of shock and awe. As things that I don't even care to try to describe are happening. I have, if you want to go and read some of my writings, I've talked about the events in several different writings that will be happening, so you can get an idea of those things. But to try to say this is what's going to happen is just going to do a disservice, and it's an injustice to the actual events that will be taking place, because they're going to be beyond comprehension. You will have to be trying to actively comprehend what is happening while it's happening. It won't be something that it's happening and you'll say, aha. You'll be like trying to figure out what is happening while it's happening, and then the next thing will be happening before you even have time to process. And you're going to be just left in this literal frozen state of jaw-dropping shock. You will know that everything that happened that led up to this point was exactly what was supposed to happen. Fortunately or unfortunately. You will know that it was all a process. It was all a plan. It was all meant to be. It was all going to be. You will know that you made it. You'll know that because you're experiencing what you're experiencing, that you made it. And you'll be elated. You will feel a sense of pride within yourself that you have never experienced before. It'll be something you'll never forget. It'll take your breath away. You'll know that you're going through the final stages of your metamorphosis, and in a matter of moments, you will awaken in your new world. That you've done it. That you've done it. That you did it. I suppose it might, I see it's not going to be something that all happens to everyone at the same time, as far as that final aha moment. It'll all be in tandem with each other, but there will be people who experience it earlier than others because they are meant to, because they have understood this for a long time and they're ready to complete their process. And so there will be people having these experiences that we'll be seeing and hearing about. It'll be another storyline. Where did the people go? Where did the people go? That's going to be the next storyline. You're going to start hearing storylines of people disappearing. When it's your time, you will go. As individuals are, essentially time is frozen and individuals are having that final moment and they'll be exiting. And they'll be exiting. And they'll be moving on, transitioning into the new world. And other people that are resisting that change and are resisting and going against what's happening, like what I talked about, right? If you're running the other way or fighting against it, or have this feeling of this is the end and I'm dying and this is the end of the world, and you're kind of anticipating that, it's going to take you a much longer time to get to that place, isn't it? And you're going to be finding yourself continuing to be living in this world of chaos while many people around you have disappeared. Please don't be another victim. Please just save yourself right now. Say, I get it, Brian. I get it, Brian. And I'm with you. And I love myself. It's literally just about choosing to love yourself and choosing to love life and choosing to love being alive. That is the choice that has to be made. The reason we can't make that choice, most people, is because we don't believe we should. We don't believe we should be alive. We don't feel good about ourselves and our circumstances and our choices. And so there is no judge out there other than you. And so what you do is you judge yourself and you say, I'm not worthy of praise. I'm not worthy of applause. I'm not worthy of love. Okay? And because you sentence yourself to those things, what comes of those things? Pain, suffering, death, and disease and death. Pain, suffering, disease, and death comes with those things. So when you begin to turn your life around, begin to let go of all the lies and tell the truth, be the truth, speak the truth, tell all your secrets, say sorry to all the people you need to say sorry to, give forgiveness to all the people that you need to give forgiveness to, right? Make all of the physical health changes you need to make that you aren't doing, that you are doing wrong, that is hurting you and your body. There's a lot of things like that. All those things need to be done. And you'll find yourself finally, though, on this clean slate. No lies, no secrets, no grudges, no resentments, no bad feelings, no bad health. Get yourself there, and that's it. And then you choose, that's what you want. I want life, I want honesty, I want love, I want light, and I want to keep living. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what I have done and what I do. And I want to keep doing those things. I want to keep being a part of this dream, this experience. And you know what life and yourself is going to say right back to you? You got it, buddy. You got it. So, did not expect this conversation to go all the places it did, but I'm glad that it did. This is different for me. I usually come on these videos with a point, so to speak, and purpose. And I think my point and purpose was just to kind of say thank you for being with me today and introduce myself a little bit. But we got to talk about all these beautiful, eye-opening, heart-opening, soul-opening things. And I'm excited to kind of do that more. I'm excited to kind of come on video and just let the conversation go where it needs to go. And share the information that I have about it. So, I think that's good for now. It's a lot to process. Again, this isn't to scare you or to frighten you to say, oh, we got World War III coming, okay? Guys, like, when's the last time you made a decision for the state of your reality as far as how your society works, right? You don't make those choices. Your world leaders make those choices. So it's time to stop being naive about the power that they hold and the things that they are capable of doing and that they do. And we just need to continue. The reason I share this information, again, it's not to scare you, it's to enlighten you. It's to, you know, if I have information on both parties, what good does it do to just hold that information to myself? You know, it doesn't help. What helps is if I share the information so we can understand how both sides are operating and where both sides' minds are at, so we can operate and make the best choices moving forward. That's why I do this. So what I want you to do, this is what I do. I wake up every day grateful. I see the things around me, right, that are there, that I'm grateful for. I see the things I'm grateful for. I see all the love around me, and I say thank you. And that is my focus. It's my home. It's my family. I say thank you for my job because I understand how important that is, again, for me to provide for my family right now, okay? So I say thank you for all the things that I'm grateful for. I don't think about negative things. I don't think about what could happen. I don't think about any of that stuff. I focus on what is literally around me. My children, my family, my home, my job. And I have my little hobbies, right? Just like we all do. I have a couple of things that I enjoy, that I find pleasure in doing. And so in my free time, when those things have exhausted, you know, their focus, I move on to those hobbies, right? And whether it's doing something active or doing something creative or something like that. So we don't harp on what if or what could be, because it doesn't matter. What we do is we focus on what is. And so we focus on the love. Now, what we do, like almost out of the side of our temples as we're operating and we're moving about, is we're sending out this dream that we have. We're sending out the intention. We're sending out the vision of that perfection that we all see within our souls. So it's like, a simple way to think about it is this: if I'm walking down a street that's full of trash, I don't pretend like the trash isn't there, and I don't ignore it. I'll actually find myself picking up the trash to help. But do you see that there's a difference between me allowing the trash to defeat me and feel like, oh, here we are back in this shitty fucking world again, or I'm walking through that street with light and love and glory, and I'm picking up trash. And what am I doing? I'm literally creating that vision that I see. I'm making it happen. You see? So it's about putting the truth out there amidst the bullshit, amidst the trash, amidst the lies, right? And putting that balance back into the world. So that's what we focus on. Is the events that I just described a definitive thing that is going to happen? No, nothing is definitive, is it? So what could very well happen is maybe Brian had this conversation so that we could avoid having those events happen, right? This is how life works. We talk about the, whoa, don't want that to happen. So now we can recreate the events, right? And again, if it really all does come down to our conscious intention. And the reason why we're so stuck is because we have 20% of people focusing on their career, 20% of people focusing on their money, 20% of people focusing on what their hobbies and interests are, 20%. Everyone's focus is on something else, so we're not on the same page. That's the only reason we continue to fail and have conflict in this world and as a people. Once we are all on the same page, I can like soccer and you can not like soccer. That's fine. But we're on the same page of what soccer is, okay? We have to be on the same page of understanding before we can go about our day-to-day and operate in any type of healthy way. The rain. Some people love it, some people hate it. Can't have that. You can't have that. Like, what is that? What we have to do is have an understanding of what rain is and why it happens. And again, you can prefer not to want to go out and get soaked in the rain, while I prefer to. That's fine. That's our individuality. What we can't have, though, is you saying, I hate the rain, and it makes my day horrible, and it makes me feel bad, and that means you still don't understand. You don't get it. So, there's a lot of work for us to do, people. We have to get on the same page. We have to see the bigger picture together, and we can't avoid conflict. We can avoid every single negative thing that I just said might happen if we can all get on the same page very quickly, very intentionally, and very purposefully, okay? And say, we are not giving any more power to these negative aspects of our lives. We are literally done. That type of implication can have huge results. And we could literally, if I'm talking about all it is going to sleep and waking up into this new world, why do we need to have these conflicts in between all that? We don't. We just need to get on the same page right now, right here. And we could all go to sleep tonight with the intention of, hey, when we go to sleep tonight, help us wake up in a new world tomorrow. And if we all literally did that, what is life or ourselves or anyone else going to say differently about it? Nothing. It will happen. So, we have the ability to avoid conflict. We have the ability to avoid chaos. We have the ability to avoid death and destruction and warfare and all these things. We do. And I believe we can. And I believe, again, it's why I'm putting these conversations out there, so that we can learn and avoid the things that we don't want and obtain the things that we do. So, hope that you've enjoyed this conversation as much as I have. It's been a gloomy day, but now as this conversation is wrapping up, the sun is coming out, and as you can see, we put balance back into things. We haven't let the state of reality or society bring us down and break us today and say, oh, because it's gloomy, I'm going to be gloomy. No, we said, we're going to keep shining, baby. And guess what? It's literally starting to sun up and shine out here. So, great job. Proud of you. Happy that you're here. And I hope that you're happy that I'm here as well. I hope that you feel good about what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and the energy that I'm putting out there. So thank you for following along. Thank you for doing all of the work that you need to do to help better yourself, your life, your reality, your situation, and yourself. Thank you, because I can't do it for you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are invaluable. You are priceless. You're a treasure. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And I love you very, 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 very much. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's keep being helpful. Let's keep doing beautiful, kind, caring things for ourselves and for each other and for this planet. And we're going to find ourselves in that beautiful new world in no time. So, love you guys. Love you, ladies. Love you, everyone. Love you all. Let's have a great rest of our day. Let's put smiles on faces and love in hearts. And let's just keep doing the right things. You got this, and I got you. Love you.